The noble society treated this poor girl like an absolute monster. Her own flesh and blood called her a cursed existence. They claimed she was unlovable. That is until our absolute madman of a main character arrived offering a mysterious medicine. "Consume this and your true beauty will awaken," he declared. The crowd roared in outrage, but one gorgeous lady stepped up to defend his honor. The high-class snobs scoffed at the ridiculous scene. But our boy did not care about their pathetic opinions. He marched straight to the trembling girl. "Trust me and take this," he ordered. The poor, terrified snack lover froze in pure shock. Could she really trust a total stranger? Even with the beautiful lady cheering her on, doubt clouded her eyes. Seeing her hesitate, our savage hero leaned in close and whispered, "Do you want to remain a laughingstock forever?" Memories of endless torment flashed through her mind. Gritting her teeth, she swallowed the magical medicine without another thought. The entire banquet hall held its breath. When a second passed in complete silence, an arrogant noble started mocking her again. He called her a hopeless cause. But suddenly, a blinding golden aura erupted from her very soul. Her entire physique began to morph. It was like a real-time divine transformation. Her curves became absolutely legendary. Staring at her reflection, she was totally speechless. She looked like a top-tier idol. The aristocratic snobs dropped their jaws to the floor, realizing they just witnessed a miracle. Suddenly, all those two-faced elites were begging on their knees for a magical pill. Even the arrogant guy with glasses was groveling. He cried for mercy, only to be kicked aside like absolute garbage. And the craziest part, this was just a warm-up for our boy. Earlier, the Academy's top track star challenged him to a 100-meter sprint. The whole school expected our hero to be utterly humiliated. That arrogant jock laughed in his face, claiming a weakling like him did not even deserve to step on the track. And honestly, it seemed true at first. The starting gun fired, the athlete sprinted for his life, while our boy just stood there like a statue. The crowd roared with laughter. But then, in the blink of an eye, he activated his movement technique and vanished like a ghost. The blonde athlete choked on his dust. Our hero strolled across the finish line, casually farming 5 extra aura points just for the disrespect. He literally waited at the end, letting the jock get an inch away before crushing his entire ego into absolute powder. How does a mere transfer student humiliate a regional prodigy? Well, he actually possessed the most terrifying aura on the entire Rudo continent. 500 years of brutal cultivation. Reaching the 11th stage at 65, he literally slaughtered the Demon King and saved the world. His reward? A cold blade in the back from his most trusted comrades, and of course a wicked woman orchestrated his absolute downfall. Honestly, villainous characters are the absolute worst. In his final moments, he felt nothing but agonizing betrayal and pure, unadulterated rage. Swearing eternal vengeance upon his murderers, he closed his eyes only to awaken inside the pathetic body of Yayamori Hiroto. Born to a legendary clan but exiled because his mana circuits were completely shattered. This new vessel was essentially a walking trash can. But with zero magical power, he still carried 500 years of divine combat memory and a burning thirst for brutal payback. Fast forward to after the race. The Academy's lowest scumbags decide to pick on our hero. Osaki, Haru, and Hokuba block his path. These combat club gorillas thought he was easy prey. Memories flooded in, showing how the original owner was constantly robbed blind by these thugs. They called it a protection fee. What an absolute joke. Hokuba arrogantly stepped back, letting Haru deal with the supposedly weak kid. But something was completely different about Yayamori today. The bully sneered, thinking one basic punch would shatter his pathetic bones. Think again, loser. Our reincarnated master casually sidestepped the attack. In a flash, he delivered a bone-crushing uppercut to the bully's jaw. To a supreme cultivator, a high school boxing captain moves like a sleeping turtle. Without pausing, our boy unleashed a devastating high kick. Bam! The strike landed perfectly. The arrogant captain flew through the air and crashed onto the cold tiles. The remaining thugs were paralyzed. Is this really the trash we used to bully? They panicked. Our hero just smirked, asking if they were shaking in their boots. Fueled by foolish pride, they charged big mistake. He seized them instantly, crushing their pressure points until they wailed in pure agony. Dropping to their knees on the bathroom floor, they begged for mercy like pathetic worms. Suddenly, the kicked captain stumbled back to his feet. Roaring in anger, he threw a desperate haymaker. Our main character barely blinked before sending him flying a second time. "Next time I snap your limbs," he warned. Staring at their shattered captain, the kneeling thugs realized they had provoked an absolute demon. Trembling in fear, they swore eternal submission. They prayed he would just walk away. But our hero had a much better idea. A predatory grin spread across his face. It was payback time. He coldly demanded a full refund for years of extortion. Terrified out of their minds, the bullies emptied their pockets in a fraction of a second. Sure, he beat them half to death, but these humiliated cowards would never dare snitch. To him, this academy was just a temporary annoyance anyway. His only goal was to grow strong and escape this pathetic environment. Gazing at the stolen cash in his hands, a brilliant plan formed. This basic lunch money was the perfect capital. He would hit the market, buy some cheap mystical ink, and craft low-tier magical talismans. Desperate rookies pay a fortune for these items. Even with shattered mana circuits, a former supreme master could craft them blindfolded for massive profit. Time to stack that cash. Now our guy just needs a cozy spot to cultivate and grab some magic herbs. 3 whole weeks later, 0 sales. Turns out modern folks look at his epic magic tags like they are totally just crazy junk. While jogging down a trashy street, our level 1 rookie spots a squished little dog. The poor pup looks super banged up and flops over in absolute agony. Perfect time to treat this furball like a guinea pig for his magical paper craft. The dog looks like roadkill, but he slaps a tag on it, completely healing the crushed organs and brutal damage. Bam! In 2 seconds flat, the pooch is totally fine and barking like crazy. Some jerk tells Shizuru it is just a mutt, who cares? But the rich young lady from the Suga family fires back, saying he only feels that way because he is the horrible driver. Annoyed, she plans a super fast vet trip. Suddenly, she gasps. The dog is chilling in our hero's arms, looking absolutely perfect. She wonders how it bounced back so fast, asking if he used magic. Suga literally saw this dog looking like crushed ketchup earlier, figuring it was doomed. Seeing she is totally heading to a hospital anyway, our clever main character spots the absolute best chance to flex. He brags about using a blue healing tag. But Wada the driver yells that he is a total scammer. That paranoid guy actually thinks our boy threw the dog at their car just to mug them. Even as the jerk tells the rich girl to ignore him, she eagerly asks if the magic paper actually works on humans. She wonders if it could wake someone from a deep coma. Boom. Our hero instantly connects the dots. She desperately wants to save a loved one. Brain damage causing a coma. Easy peasy. His talismans use pure life force to literally glue the body back together. Wada screams that magic paper cannot fix her aunt and slaps her hand away. But our cool guy ignores him, explaining the dummy-proof instructions. Just wave it at the sick person. He smoothly prices the huge ones at 400,000 yen and the smalls for 200,000. She wildly drops 1 million yen and demands his entire stock. Wada frantically begs her to stop screaming that this is totally crazy town, but our slightly irritated cultivator just snatches the annoying guy's wrist. He glares, warning the noisy driver to stop blocking his precious payday since the rich lady already swiped her mental credit card. He adds that if Wada keeps whining, things will get incredibly ugly. Twisting the jerk's arm, our hero literally tosses the trash aside and finalizes his fat sale with the Suga family heiress. As a neat bonus, he tosses in a yellow shield and a spicy red fire tag. He sincerely hopes she never ever has to blow things up with them. Still, Shizuru loves a freebie and shyly asks for the handsome guy's name. Walking away like a total boss, he drops the name Yamori Hiroto. Wada is still crying, scammer tears convinced magic cannot cure brain damage. But the desperate girl does not care. If there is a 1% chance, she is taking it. She desperately wants her mom back. Meanwhile, our newly rich hero goes house hunting, next up, grabbing fancy magic plants to boost his powers. Suddenly, his new furry friend spots something crazy and frantically barks like a maniac. Our guy notices a huge mansion leaking hilarious cheddar-flavored energy. Wait, spirit energy. Then he spots the jackpot growing in the front yard. A super rare, glowing silver heart grass. Cut to the local infirmary, where some random thug our hero punched out is crying to a nurse about the big bad magic bully. Covered in bandages, the loser swears revenge on Yamori. Meanwhile, Shizuru's grumpy councilman dad is throwing a massive embarrassing tantrum over her shopping spree. He yells that buying paper magic from a street kid makes their rich family look like absolute clowns. Even the nosy nurses are giggling about the rich girl buying fake magic. Ignoring the haters, Shizuru grips the glowing tag, determined to try just once more. This is her absolute final Hail Mary to save her beloved mom. Father of the Year yells that she has completely lost her marbles and needs to stop this embarrassing magic trick. He mocks her, asking if she will start dancing for rain gods next. Snapping back, she asks what his big plan is besides complaining. She completely roasts him, asking how many times he even bothered visiting his own unconscious wife. She calls him out for basically giving up, accusing him of just waiting to replace her mom with some shiny new trophy wife. The truth hurts. The angry boomer raises his hand to slap her, but cowardly stops himself at the very last second. Grumbling that kids these days have zero respect, he evilly threatens to call a nurse and literally pull the life support plug. Bursting into tears, Shizuru screams that he cannot do that. Clutching the magic tag tightly, she vows to never give up. Boom! The talisman activates on its own, blasting a brilliant magical blue light everywhere. Her mom's eyes snap open. She weakly touches her crying daughter's face, softly whispering Shizuru's name. It actually worked. His daughter sheds a few pounds and her dad completely loses his mind. He sprints outside screaming for a doctor and speed dialing everyone in his contacts. Why the panic? Because his comatose wife just casually opened her eyes. The doctors drop their clipboards in pure shock and scramble to rush her into emergency testing. A year and a half asleep, and suddenly she is ready for morning yoga. The old man connects the dots. He realizes it is all thanks to that sketchy blue paper talisman. He praises its magic, while the doctors stare at him like he has lost his marbles. But to this father, it is a straight-up miracle. They frantically page Professor Suzuki, while the dad wonders if the talisman vendor was literally a god in disguise. Meanwhile, the newly awake mom tearfully hugs her daughter, apologizing for the long nap. However, the daughter is just thrilled to have her back. Now, a hardcore believer in the divine, she is on a mission to hunt down our talisman guy and shower him with thanks. Speaking of our guy, he just conquered the first brutal step to reclaiming his cosmic throne in the Ryu continent, unpacking boxes in his new apartment. Real talk, he is holding a massive grudge against the backstabbers from his past life. But to serve cold dish revenge, he first needs to hit the 11th stage of cultivation and hoard some shiny spiritual loot. The payback tour is fully booked, and those traders are going to foot the bill. Just one tiny problem. Earth's spiritual energy is basically dial-up internet, and his mana is tanking fast. To upgrade his connection, he desperately needs an item bursting with heavy-duty spirit juice. He figures he will have to hunt down legendary mythical springs or ultra-rare artifacts. But wait, he spots silver heart plants casually chilling in his backyard garden. Cue the maniacal laughter. Silver heart grass is an A-rank treasure, way better than your grandma's basil. These magical weeds are the VIP ticket to brewing overpowered pills. Pop a freshly refined Zuki pill made from these bad boys, and boom, second stage achieved. But messing up the recipe. Huge yikes. The ingredients for a Zuki pill cost an absolute fortune. Also remember that low-key talisman business. Yeah, total fail. It acted like a neon sign for trouble. Goons have been tailing him since day 3. Our overpowered main character just smirks, eager to see what these walking trash cans will actually try to pull. But suddenly, a wild schoolgirl appears, recognizing him at the absolute worst possible moment. She corners Yamorai, nagging him about skipping classes. She knows his tragic backstory. Kicked out of his fancy clan for having a spaghetti noodle body, leaving him zero time for homework. Our hero sighs. He knows she was literally the only person in class who bothered to defend the original owner of this body. She shoves cash at him, begging him to return to school. Yamorai politely rejects the pity fund. He smoothly apologizes, hinting he has some garbage disposal to handle right now. The girl blinks, guessing he is deep in some serious financial drama. Meanwhile, our hero's radar is pinging, 7 angry thugs on the left, 3 hiding on the right. He could swat them all like annoying mosquitoes in one breath. Instead, he playfully jogs away, and the knife-wielding bozos take the bait, sprinting after him. They dive into a shady alley behind our main character. But surprise, surprise, it is a dead end. Thinking they trapped him, they try acting tough. Yamorai just yawns and invites them all to catch these hands at once. The squad of scary-looking thugs halts, flashing their cheap weapons. A ridiculously bald goon cracks his knuckles, grinning like a cartoon villain. This is going to be hilarious. Our immortal cultivator rolls his eyes, asking why his fan club has been stalking him all week. The bald guy sneers, mocking his sheer audacity to sell black market goods without expecting a beatdown. Then they drop the real tea. Why is the rich young mistress of the Amitani clan suddenly obsessed with a scrub like him? Wait, that is his crazy ex-fiancé. Our hero deadpans. Sending hitmen over a cancelled wedding is next-level toxic, so he decides to literally beat the answers out of them. Suddenly, the schoolgirl peeks in. Seeing actual Yakuza ganging up on Yamorai, her jaw drops. She panics, convinced his string bean physique will get snapped in half by these armed mobsters. Playing the hero, she whips out her phone to dial emergency services, but a thug spots her. He calls her a stray kitten and demands to know what she is typing. With a totally psychotic grin, he snatches the phone right out of her hands. The surrounding punks start cheering, calling him boss, and hyping up his grand entrance. Our hero sighs deeply as he watches Mochiyama get violently yanked by her hair. The thug leader laughs, calling Yamorai a real player for bagging the Amitani heiress, and now, this cute student. Ignoring the pain, she screams for Yamorai to run for his life. She flexes her status, warning them not to touch the precious daughter of the elite Kojo Mochiyama clan. But the bald boss just snorts, completely roasting her family name. He chuckles, noting that if they just bury her in this dumpster, nobody will ever find her bougie remains. Pure terror hits her face. The psycho grins, whispering that if she wants to blame anyone for her death, she should blame her own heroic stupidity. He thrusts the knife forward, but in a literal blink, our protagonist vanishes and goes full beast mode. He effortlessly swipes the blade and slams the boss into the brick wall. Mochiyama is absolutely stunned. Is that really the wimpy Yamore? He is radiating pure, terrifying boss energy. Pinning the thug, our hero coldly states he will only ask this once, who sent them. Meanwhile, across town, police radio chatter blasts. Inspector Kaya gets the alert. The notorious Scarface gang is wreaking havoc on East Street, and a civilian schoolgirl is taken hostage. Smirking with pure adrenaline, the fierce detective floors the gas pedal, screaming for backup as sirens wail, without waking up the grumpy Chief Onaga. He whispers, "Don't rush in like idiots. These thugs will literally delete us." Getting radio silence, he aggressively taps the mic, sweating bullets. Did his partner fall asleep? But a terrified voice squeaks back, backup is cancelled. That scrawny kid just mopped the floor with Scarface's entire crew. Baldy gasps, "Wait, isn't he the clan's famous trash?" His pride is completely shattered. Our main character smirks, so who snitched, the Amatani or Yamore clan? He drops 3 fingers. 3 seconds before you meet your maker. Sweating buckets, the bald thug begs for an extension. Denied. But suddenly, sirens wail. The cops burst in, screaming at him to kneel. Inspector Ka yells, "Stop. Don't become a murderer over this trash." Our hero squints. Cops, here, what a hilariously convenient coincidence. He could easily swat these officers like flies, but hiding his god-tier stats is way funnier. So he decides to play nice and drops Baldy. The thug is practically crying tears of joy he survived. But our hero knows fighting the government right now is a total headache. Inspector Kaya's jaw hits the floor. Did this scrawny teenager really solo a dungeon of dealers? I am. Ka Haruki, the good cop, stammers to Yamure, inspector of the Nume police. Mokama awkwardly waves hello. Ka promises to sweep this absurd mess under the rug, so chill out. Officer Rakahara chimes in with a polite bow. But our overpowered main character is already plotting. The government's delivery time is way too fast. Do they have premium shipping? They'll want a boring police report now. Suddenly, the big boss struts in. The chief dramatically claims these thugs almost escaped his heroic grasp. Chief Unaga furiously points a chubby finger at Yamore. "You student. You are under arrest for kicking too much butt." He aggressively flashes a crumpled warrant. Mokama goes absolutely ballistic. "Are you blind? These goons attacked us." Unaga snorts. "I only saw a kid bullying innocent drug dealers." Inspector Ka completely loses his mind. "Sir, they are literally selling illegal substances." Calling them trash hits a massive nerve with Unaga. The boss threatens to rip off Ka's badge for insubordination. Ka roars back, "You absolute clown." A bald buddy frantically holds Ka back to save his pension. Suddenly, Yamori casually yawns. "All right, just arrest me." He already smells the dirty government plot to frame him. But honestly, it's the perfect free ticket to gather intel. Giving a sly grin, he asks the chief, "Hey genius, how did you magically know I am a student?" The corrupt cop freezes. Oops. He just totally exposed his own script. Sweating through a pathetic excuse, Yamori mocks, "Did your sugar daddy tell you to stalk me?" Unaga plays dumb, barking at him to get in the loser cruiser, but Yamori subtly snaps off the chief's shiny coat button. "What a pity," he whispers. The fatty boss is clueless. He didn't feel a thing. Our hero smirks. "Next time I will be ripping off way more than a button." Unaga's face turns tomato red with pure unfiltered rage. Fast forward to the local slammer. A guard loudly smacks his stick against a gloomy cell. "Hey freak, your target is checking in. Delete him." The creepy inmate dramatically shuts his reading book. Mission accepted, boss man. Yamare strolls into the prison like he owns the resort. He rates the gloomy decor 0 stars. Clang. The iron doors lock. Oh, an ambush. How spicy. He looks at his spooky new roommate and wonders, is this edgelord really the mastermind? The assassin sighs. He used to have morals about punching scrawny kids. But hey, a paycheck is a paycheck. Yamore bursts out laughing. So you are just a cheap delivery boy. Still, the main character feels a spicy tingle in the air. His stats are nerfed, but his radar is still flawless. He senses Faki's aggressively loud spiritual aura. The crazy hitman cackles, boasting he will easily isekai our hero in 5 seconds flat. He furiously lunges forward, glowing like a cheap neon sign. But whoosh, Yamore literally vanishes. He ghost steps right into the enemy's personal space and viciously grabs Faki by his stupid face. "Bro, I am so confused. You are the only weakling here." In a split second, Yamori spectacularly dunks the assassin into the concrete. But plot twist. The villain stubbornly clings to his leg, angrily tossing our protagonist like a rag doll. Still, Yamore does a flawless superhero landing on the wall. 0 damage. Faki realizes he totally miscalculated. Now he wants to unleash a world of pain, but before he can even blink, wham! He eats an absolute knuckle sandwich. Looking up, he literally sees the Grim Reaper. Desperately throwing up his guard, he takes a devastating kick that launches him across the cell. Yamare nonchalantly brushes off his shoulders, while the hitman Faki is battered, but he charges anyway. He winds up a massive hook, yelling at the kid to know his place. But hilariously, he eats another brutal fist straight to the gut. The impact sends him flying backward in agonizing pain. He questions his entire life choices while Hiroto casually strolls toward him. Radiating an overwhelming aura of spiritual energy, our overpowered hero throws another devastating blow, planting his fist square on the thug's jaw. He slams Faki's head right into the concrete floor. Pinning him down like a helpless bug, Hiroto demands to know who sent him. He also questions where this grunt got his spiritual energy. Meanwhile, Officer Haga is freaking out on the phone, asking what kind of literal monster he just locked up. The guy on the other line laughs it off. He thinks Hiroto is just a pathetic exile from the Yamore clan, definitely not a monster. But the superintendent strongly disagrees. After all, this so-called screw-up just mopped the floor with a superhuman. Back in the cell, our bored hero waits for his answer. Faki is groaning on the ground, looking like a crushed tomato. He realizes this kid is on a frighteningly different level from mere mortals. Hearing Faki mumble, our reincarnated hero wonders if this world actually has hidden cultivators running around. Flashback time. Years ago, Faki met a crazy old monk in Ryuja. This geezer channeled his spiritual chi and casually chopped down a massive tree with his bare hands. That same monk handed him a shady bottle of divine water. Over the years, our gullible thug kept sipping that diluted magical juice exactly as instructed. Surprisingly, it actually worked. His mortal body slowly mutated into something terrifyingly strong. Our main character instantly recognizes this divine water. It is simply spiritual liquid harvested from hidden springs. Those legendary springs only pop up in zones bursting with spiritual chi. Hiroto chuckles, asking why a guy who broke past normal human limits is playing lapdog for common thugs. Defeated, Faki sighs. He reveals his tragic backstory about his sick son who is suffering from a deadly sclerosis. Sadly, that magic water was totally useless for curing diseases, so he desperately needed a mountain of cash. Hearing about this illness, our overpowered hero just smirks. He can fix that easily. Faki is absolutely dumbfounded as the main character explains that feeding spiritual juice to normal folks is a death sentence. But with a divine talisman, child's play, Faki gasps, unable to believe such a convenient cheat skill exists. To prove he is not bluffing, Hiroto slaps a healing talisman right onto the thug's battered body. Instantly, every broken bone magically knits back together. Seeing this miracle, our reincarnated boss decides to toss him a lifeline. Just spill the beans on the mastermind's true identity, and his kid gets a full recovery. But if he plays dumb, Hiroto will cheerfully delete him from existence. Terrified, Faki finally realizes this Yamare kid is a walking natural disaster. He instantly sings like a canary. The guy who hired him was none other than Hashimoto Kos. Cut to a shadowy figure laughing on the phone, mocking Onaga for being terrified of a Yamare clan reject. That arrogant voice belongs to Hashimoto Kos himself, the ruthless boss of the Kosan Club. Hanging up, he turns back to his current victim with a sick smile. He mockingly asks her what premium cut of meat she is craving for dinner. But this isn't a date. Kneeling in front of him is a terrified woman, heavily chained and sobbing through a nasty gag. Kos casually stands up, playfully scolding her like a disobedient pet who lacks basic table manners. With zero hesitation, he rips the duct tape off her face, pondering out loud which tooth he should forcefully evict next. Time for a brutal lesson in respect. With a chilling crunch, he uses rusty pliers to yank out a tooth, ignoring her blood-curdling screams. Suddenly, his nervous butler interrupts. Lord Suma is asking for updates on the Hiroto Yamore hit. Kos waves him off, bragging that he already hired a beefy Ryuja thug for the dirty work. He promises to visit the police station later for the cleanup. In his arrogant mind, that high school kid is already a rotting corpse. Little does he know. Back in the holding cell, a grateful Faki hands over a mysterious cross pendant in exchange for Hiroto's miraculous talisman. Hiroto's eyes light up. Right in the center of that cross sits a perfectly condensed drop of spiritual liquid. He smirks, realizing that if he drips this liquid onto his silver heart grass, it will instantly bear magical fruit. Snatching the loot, our hero cheerfully thanks the thug for this epic drop item. Faki nervously warns him that Hashimoto will definitely hunt him down now, and that absolute psycho never lets his prey see tomorrow. Hiroto just laughs it off. He tells the guy to chill as long as their sweet deal holds up. As for that Hashimoto clown, our overpowered hero promises to deliver a very painful greeting. Cut to Newen University, where a drop-dead, gorgeous lady steps out of a ridiculously expensive car. It is Saki, the VIP talisman buyer. She totally doubted that this miracle worker was the famous Yamori exile until a leaked photo confirmed his identity. And plot twist, this legendary exile is actually a freshman at her school. Saki storms in to confront the college president about Hiroto's unfair arrest. The cowardly principal wants zero part in this gang drama, but our fiery heroine is hell-bent on busting her favorite freshman out of jail. Just then, the elegant Shizuru walks in, catching the spicy gossip about Hiroto Yamore. Meanwhile, the tension is boiling over inside Superintendent Onaga's office. Young Officer Kai is absolutely fuming. How could his corrupt boss just casually release a dangerous gangster back onto the streets after years of chasing him? Kai boldly accuses the superintendent of playing dirty, but the smarmy boss just smirks, mocking Kai's lack of solid evidence. Barking at a superior without proof is career suicide. Kid Kai grits his teeth, claiming he knows exactly what kind of shady business is happening in the shadows. Onaga steps up, releasing a threatening aura, daring the rookie to spit it out. Intimidated by the sheer pressure, the young cop swallows his words in total fear. But just in the nick of time, Saki and Shizuru burst through the office doors, completely ignoring the desperate guards trying to stop them right now. The superintendent totally lost his mind at the guard. He wondered who these nobodies were. After all, Hiroto didn't look like he had any VIP backing. He declared the girl's friend was suddenly a master thief and brawler, and had to rot in jail until trial. Ka called out the pure nonsense since there was zero proof. The chief basically said, "I am the boss, I do what I want." Saki asked the real question, "Where did the Yakuza go?" Unaga just sneered, bragging he could arrest them all for just breathing wrong. Shizuru was unbothered. "Try me," she dared, casually taking a seat to watch him crash and burn. The corrupt official snapped. He ordered his goons to lock them all up and silence them for good. They were officially labeled as accomplices to the big bad Yomurai Hiroto. Poor Kaoru got suspended for playing hero and was dragged off to interrogation. But Shizuru just smirked. "Will Director Oi ignore you pulling crimes out of a magic hat?" Unaga missed the trap entirely and threatened her for insulting his precious ego. Shizuru played innocent, calling it a very convenient setup for the mighty Superintendent Unaga. The chief's vein popped. She was being way too annoying. She casually dropped that Hiroto's issues could just vanish with a little cash. Unaga went full villain mode. "VIPs get special treatment, kid, and you are out of luck." He even mocked her past trauma when she was attacked and fought for her life. In a totally unhinged tone, he whispered that he could unalive everyone in the room and get away with it. Shizuru smiled. "Did you catch all that? Director Oi." From her phone, a very angry voice replied, loud and clear. The superintendent's soul left his body when he realized his boss heard his entire supervillain speech. For abusing power and threatening a councilman's family, Unaga was instantly suspended. When Shizuru offered a reintroduction, Unaga realized he just threatened top-tier political royalty. Oops. Meanwhile, chilling in his cell, our main character checked his pendant. The spiritual liquid was running on fumes. He had exactly one use left. Suddenly, footsteps echoed down the hall. He braced for a fight, but it was just Shizuru. Jailbreak complete. Elsewhere, the rich villain was throwing a massive temper tantrum. "Useless. You are all useless." One goon was half dead, the other eating prison food. If he failed the AMA clan's mission, his own head would roll. His bodyguard nervously asked Lord Akimasa for a plan. To prove he wasn't a total failure, Akimasa vowed to capture the boy alive, and he was going to do it in his finest suit. "I will take out the trash myself." Back to our hero, who had $0 after going on a wild shopping spree for materials. Being dead broke, he used his loot to refine a chunky spiritual chi pill. Down the hatch it went. It was a sloppy method, leaving the energy rough and impure, but hey, it worked for this world. Boom. Level 2 of spiritual chi cultivation unlocked. Thanks to his slick cloud shadow footwork, he was basically the Flash. Not even bullets could touch him now, but his spiritual fluid was totally tapped out. He desperately needed premium mana-rich loot. Faki mentioned Ryuta had the good stuff, but walking through the front door was a death wish, so he needed to call in Faki's VIP contact. The entry fee? 2 million yen. His bank account? Absolute comedy. Suddenly, an infomercial flashed on TV. For a magical anti-aging syringe, it was going viral and selling for insane money. Lightbulb moment. Women here would pay anything for youth. Our hero smelled pure profit. 5 hours earlier, he was stuffing his face at dinner when he learned Shizuru was Councilman Suga's kid. No wonder she could speed dial the police chief. Suga actually needed a massive favor from our main character, which explained the fancy dinner. He asked if Hiroto knew the Sugo building. Oh, he knew it. It was the absolute mega hub for cosmetics in the city. Shizuru casually dropped that her family owned the whole block. She invited him to tomorrow night's mega gala to celebrate her mom's recovery. Back to the present. At the absolute top of the Sugo building, the fancy gala kicked off. Our guy knew his current stats were too trash for high-tier spiritual pills, but making basic beauty elixirs. Easy. Money. Seeing all the filthy rich women, his inner businessman rubbed his hands together. Suddenly drama alert. Shizuru's nasty uncle was bullying a 30-year-old woman for being past her prime. He told her to marry fast before she ended up like her older sister Masami. The uncle completely roasted Masami, claiming her youthful selfishness made her useless to the clan now that she was ancient. He called her a bad luck charm, leaving her totally speechless and crushed. But Shizuru and her mom were not having it. They told the old hater to zip his lips. After all, Masami practically raised him. Uncle Shiro plays the ultimate party crasher. He insists they find her a husband immediately. He pushes for an arranged marriage with the U clan. Misami politely declines, but this annoying boomer calls her selfish. He even claims her youthful beauty is gone forever. Enter our hero. He steps up, absolutely shutting down the disrespect, calling a lady damaged goods. Not on his watch. The uncle throws a tantrum screaming for security. But Shizuru drops the mic. She invited him because he literally saved her mother. The mom steps up thanking him for the life-saving talisman. Our humble protagonist simply smiles. The uncle scoffs, calling it a cheap scam, and crediting modern medicine instead. Our main character finally introduces himself. A researcher of time and value and President Suga's VIP partner. The crowd completely loses it. A youth product researcher at this fancy gathering, hilarious. But our boy is about to silence the haters. He holds up a mysterious little box. The aunt chuckles, waiting for the punchline. He gently asks for Masami's hand, offering her the miracle pill. The uncle loses his mind, screaming about sketchy poison. The crowd murmurs in panic. But Shizuru trusts him blindly and volunteers to take it. Even the mom steps up to defend her savior. The suits in the room laugh, mocking the so-called elixir. Our hero leans in, whispering a devilish question. Does she want her golden years back? Pushed to the edge by the old men's insults, she confidently swallows the pill. The uncles gasp, expecting her to drop dead. When nothing happens instantly, they scream scam. Uncle Shiru points his finger, laughing triumphantly. But then, the ultimate plot twist hits. Her skin glows. Her wrinkles vanish. She morphs back into her glorious prime. The entire ballroom goes dead silent. Then the rich aunties absolutely lose their minds. Wallets fly open like a literal war zone. The family realizes this is a gold mine. Their ticket to ruling the cosmetics empire. The uncle shushes everyone, already tasting his billionaire status. The Kosen group casually drops $4 million for the rights. Rinko group fires back with $20 million. But the uncle steps in, claiming this isn't an auction. He tries to play the big boss, negotiating directly. He arrogantly offers $30 million, demanding 70% of the profits for himself. He brags about his clan's elite connections. But Shizuru destroys his ego. She exposes that their clan has 0 connections left. He explodes, playing the family respect card. But she hits him with the cold, hard facts. He literally blew $160 million of their grandma's cash. The bank is practically hunting them. The mom gasps. Did he really bankrupt the family? The uncle sweats bullets, totally busted. Shizuru knows exactly why this parasite crashed the party. He wanted to drain her mother's accounts. She refuses to give this maniac a single dime. Besides, he doesn't even have $30 million to offer. Caught in his lies, he instantly folds. He drops to his knees, begging like a massive loser. She rolls her eyes. She only helped him before because he promised to change. Now he's groveling, crying about how she always saved him. Pathetic. But her patience has officially run out. He destroyed their mother's legacy, and he's done. She stands tall, telling him to clean up his own garbage. The uncle panics, realizing he's cut off. Shizuru drops the ultimate ultimatum. Rot in court forever, or sell his company to her for 1 single yen. Meanwhile, the real pros step up. The president tells our hero how real business is done. $40 million is the floor, and he keeps 80%. She warns him about these corporate vultures. He smiles, trusting her to handle the greedy sharks. Later that night, they roll up to his surprisingly massive pad. He humbly claims it's just a rental. He casually thanks her for saving him a long walk. She laughs, saying friends don't need to say thanks. Our guy is totally stunned by the F word. Friend. She hits him with a killer smile, and they head inside. Our guy finally admits this new life is a win, but when he swings his front door open, he spots a massive puddle of ketchup. Nope, blood. His poor doggo is looking absolutely wrecked. Right then, the blonde psycho, Kusei's goon, calls, bragging that he is bringing a lady along. Kusei grins like a maniac, ordering his men to snatch the girl. He bets that a solid dose of pure despair will make Lord Suma dance with joy. He hopes our boy loves his dark gift. Meanwhile, our hero dashes to the good boy, yanking out the blade. He slaps down a healing talisman like a boss, realizing the pup is breathing. Thank heavens, this item will absolutely save the fur baby. But hold up, right above his head, a ninja wannabe is hanging from the ceiling, literally biting a knife. He tries to strike, but our main character casually sidesteps and counters. The goons drop their jaws while he tells the pup to hide. With a deadly glare, he looks at the remaining trash mobs asking if they want an all-you-can-eat beatdown buffet. They idiotically rush him together, but our budget John Wick folds the first guy like a lawn chair. Another tries his luck, whiffs, completely loses his arm privileges, and gets happily turned into a past tense. The goons panic, swapping to guns and blasting away. But guess what? Right now, not even a shower of bullets can scratch our boy. Meanwhile, the blonde nutjob picks out tools like he is at a messed-up hardware store. He creeps closer to Shizuru, who is practically sobbing her eyes out. The creep asks if she is the legendary Kenji Suga's daughter. But plot twist. His phone buzzes, and oops, he gets the news that his entire squad got wiped out. He is absolutely flabbergasted that they could not scratch Hiroto Yamori. When he hears Yamori's ice-cold voice, he nervously laughs about the crashed party. The blonde snake then flexes to our main character that he snatched the Suga family heiress. Our hero casually promises he is on his way to wreck him, warning him not to touch a single hair on her head or drag random bystanders into this mess. Over the line, Keisei throws a massive tantrum for his ruined plans, giving him exactly 40 minutes. Yamori literally crushes the phone to dust, his rage maxing out as he vows to hunt Hashimoto down. Meanwhile, Keisei decides to film a creepy trailer for this horror show. He rips the tape off her mouth, but suddenly his goons start hammering on the door. Super annoyed, he snaps, asking what the big emergency is. His guards scream that the warehouse fire suppression system just went absolutely wild. Keisei had specifically ordered them to rip out the alarms, just in case the cops decided to crash their evil lair. Right then, the girl squeezes her eyes shut, completely drained of energy. But boom! Out of nowhere, the guards are sent flying like bowling pins. With zero stamina left, she desperately starts crying out for Hiroto Yamori, totally assuming her night arrived. Flashback to 1 hour ago, Funaki was doing a midnight run to drop an introduction letter off for Ryuja. Getting ghosted on the phone, he parks his bike at what looks like the exact coordinates. Funaki scratches his head, wondering if he accidentally rolled up to Yamori's crib. Suddenly, he overhears thugs telling Hashimoto that Hiroto is back in town. Funaki goes full stealth mode, trailing them only to spot the hit squad, planning to jump our main character. Even worse. They had also bagged the girl, tossing her into a getaway car like a sack of potatoes. Funaki instantly clocked Keisei's dirty play, kidnapping Hiroto's lady and sending discount assassins to his turf. Being a total bro, he tailgates the kidnapper's ride and immediately pings the exact coordinates straight to our protagonist. Back in the present, Hiroto aggressively interviews a home invader, making the poor guy sing like a canary. Hiroto cashes in a favor with Funaki, begging him to rescue his friend. But as for the blonde mastermind, Hiroto wants to smash the blonde guy with his very own hands. Meanwhile, Keisei is throwing a massive fit, roasting his guards since he strictly demanded they disable the warehouse fire alarms. He angrily storms off to check the chaos, ordering them to stand guard. But joke is on them, Funaki has already breached the place. His rent-a-cops are busy whining about this whole kidnapping gig and their boss's diva demands. Totally oblivious. Until they spot this absolutely shredded dude, casually oozing massive spiritual pressure. Sweating buckets, they scream, asking who the heck he is and what he wants. Flashing a totally unhinged grin, he nicely tells them to take a number right before bulldozing them with his absolute unit of a body. He chucks the guards like ragdolls, handing out free naps with his giant fists. He finally kicks down the door to Suga, who totally thinks he is Hiroto. Funaki smirks, knowing Yamori owes him a massive solid now. The big guy scoops the lady up, making an absolute mad dash for the exit as fast as his legs can carry him, carrying her over his shoulder before the goons even process the heist. The getaway car is in the garden behind the door in front of him. He knows they will check the cameras any second, but bam! Out of nowhere, a high-speed projectile absolutely snipes him right in the leg. He faceplants into the dirt, dropping the girl. Keisei swaggers out, bragging that his aim is still god tier and that the trick shot was absolute cinema. Funaki grits his teeth, wondering how they respawned so fast and how his great escape got cancelled. Hashimoto laughs, saying this meathead has some serious nerve crashing his evil villain mansion. The shredded giant and Keisei apparently haven't crossed paths in a very long time, instantly trading some spicy trash talk. Keisei happily declares today a total win, since all his targets literally delivered themselves to be punished. This makes him shiver with creepy excitement, but Funaki just spits blood and smirks, betting the blonde psycho won't be acting so tough after catching these massive hands. Meanwhile, right outside the gates, our hero finally touches down immediately, putting the guards on high alert. He shows up looking like an absolute demon lord, radiating a blood-red aura of pure rage. The clueless guards ask if he needs help, but our protagonist is all ready. Our boy does not even waste his breath. Bam! He rearranges the first goon's face so hard the guy becomes a human cannonball, absolutely obliterating the front gate. The next unlucky fool charges in only to eat a one-shot knockout. After that, it is a total all-you-can-beat buffet as he casually mows down the entire squad at once, barely breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, poor Funaki is getting jumped by the remaining guards, taking some serious damage. He is full of regrets, cursing himself for taking this job when he cannot even save a single girl. The psycho boss laughs, promising that after he finishes him off, he will send his wife and kids straight to the underworld for a little family reunion. But first, this absolute lunatic plans to slice them into bite-sized pieces. Suddenly, boom, the front door explodes into splinters, instantly shutting the villain up. He panics, wondering who just crashed his party as a badass silhouette steps through the smoke. Our hero smirks, announcing the Grim Reaper sent him to escort Koss straight to hell. Faki grumbles that the kid sure took his sweet time tossing his buddy a healing talisman, promising it will work its magic just like before. Panicking, the guards unleash a storm of bullets, but our main character just dashes right through, effortlessly dodging the gunfire, because mere bullets are completely useless against a second-stage cultivator. Chaos drops his jaw at the ridiculous speed, and in the blink of an eye, too, more goons hit the dirt. Seeing his elite guards get treated like trash, the blonde coward completely loses his mind and bolts for the back door. Hashimoto is sweating bullets. He realizes our hero moves like a high-tier martial artist and decides it is time to nope out of there. Sweating buckets, he violently spams the elevator button, praying for a quick getaway. But the elevator ignores his desperate pleas, and suddenly, one of his personal guards gets yeeted right against the doors. The blonde guy practically pees his pants, begging Hiroto to chill out, frantically hinting that the big boss who ordered the hit is Lord Ima, claiming Koz is under his ultimate protection. Our hero just yawns, having zero clue who that is, and promises the blonde trash that he is about to experience a world of Koz, unimaginable pain. Terrified out of his mind, Hashimoto accidentally spills the beans, screaming that Elder Joe ordered the hit because he messed with the Amitani clan daughter. Our main character digs through his past host memories but finds absolutely nothing about a Setsu Amitani. Clearly, somebody set him up. Kosi desperately squeals that only the mighty Amitani clan could pull strings like this, begging Hiroto to spare his miserable life. He grovels, hyping up the Amitani clan as insanely powerful and dangerous. Kosi bargains that if he walks away alive, he will put in a good word for him, claiming it will be super valuable later. Hiroto just smirks at his pathetic worth, delivering a devastating face-caving punch that buries him straight into the concrete. Then he drags his limp body through the rubble, absolutely shattering the steel doors. Inside, our hero spots the kidnapped women. He picks up a menacing knife and approaches them, but instead of striking, he easily slices through their heavy restraints, casually stating that they can teach this trash his true value themselves. He drops the cold steel right at their feet and gives the ladies full VIP access to decide his fate. A bloody, desperate Hashimoto cries out that he has piles of cash and millions to offer our main character, but Yamori could not care less. The women snatch up the blade, eyes glowing with pure vengeance, declaring they do not want a single penny. The only currency they accept is his life. After serving up some sweet karma, our reincarnated powerhouse heals Suga using his mystical green talisman. He taps Faki on the shoulder, telling him to bounce since the cops are already blazing their sirens on the way over. He promises to return right after tossing the trash to the police and ensuring her absolute safety. Faki knows our guy holds the golden intel and eagerly asks for the next game plan. Our hero glares into the distance, vowing to hunt down the Ima clan and wipe them off the map. Sure, Hashimoto bit the dust, but that snake Suma is still lurking. So our boy dives right into hardcore cultivation training, determined to track his nasty aura and crush him fast. But suddenly, ding-dong. The doorbell completely ruins his meditative zone. He scratches his head, wondering who is crashing his place at this hour. Boom, it is a fancy invitation from President Suga, noting they will head out the second he is dressed to kill. He stares at it, completely clueless about where they are going. He dials her number, admitting he got the mysterious letter, but asks why he needs to wear a monkey suit. She giggles, telling him to actually read the card, revealing it will be a mega-elite banquet hosted by the legendary Hashisu family. Our main character is shook. A VIP invite. Shizuru explains that selling their miracle pill will score them major points, with the elites totally conquering the pharmaceutical market in Nume City. But wait, there is a spicy twist. On top of all that corporate dominance, his so-called ex-fiancée is crashing the same party. He connects the dots. Setsu, the spoiled young mistress of the Amitani clan. So he suits up looking sharp and struts into the luxurious Hashisu banquet. Right away, he spots Mr. Pierce and Kitaro, who are absolute titans of the Kenta group, the heavy hitters of the city business empire. Our main character smirks, asking if these fat cats are also kissing up to the Hashisu family. Tonight, despite hijacking a rich kid body, he is hilariously clueless about just how monstrously powerful these hosts are. People are literally drooling at this party, desperate to snatch a single crumb of business connection. Suddenly, the grand doors swing open. The head of the Hashisu family makes her grand entrance. Wait, Amitani Setsu. Our reincarnated badass squints, instantly noticing a swirling aura of spiritual chi radiating from her. He pauses, wondering if she is the actual original soul trapped inside the ex-fiancé body. The family boss Hashunana stands beside Setsu, and our main character gets incredibly suspicious. Is she secretly reincarnated too? He narrows his eyes, wondering if he just stumbled into another hidden cultivator with some crazy overpowered techniques in this modern world. Our boy figures this lady has guts. She is freely flexing her spiritual aura. She definitely knows about S, so he will interrogate her later. Shizuru struts over to her aunt, buttering her up with some sweet compliments. Nana asks how her mom is doing. Rumor has it she finally woke up from her coma. Shizuru smiles politely at the concern, explaining her mother is slowly bouncing back. She casually flexes that she bought the legendary Schwan pill, showing off the tiny treasure. The ultimate beauty hack for eternal youth. Naturally, Nana knows the crazy rumors about this magical medicine. It is officially out of stock everywhere, and the price tag is absolutely absurd. Nana inspects the flawless quality. No wonder they call it the absolute peak of spiritual pills. You cannot just buy this anywhere. She immediately asks who actually crafted this masterpiece. Hiroto steps up to introduce his partner. Hearing the name Hiroto Yaimore, Setsu absolutely freezes. Nana is completely mind-blown. The little snot-nosed brat she knew is now a full-grown, handsome man. She loudly declares the Yayamore clan are blind fools, throwing away an alchemy genius at his age. Setsu just scoffs, crossing her arms. She claims alchemy tricks are useless here. A prestigious family like theirs only cares about raw combat power. Exactly as our main character predicted. These elite snobs already have their mana methods, even if they are absolute garbage compared to his past life. Nana demands to know who taught him. A fiery redhead flashes in his mind, but he lies, saying he is self-taught for fun. Before he can brag any further, some random dude totally ruins the moment. Walking right up to Aunt Nana. Nobody recognizes this guy, but apparently he is tied to the Suma family. He even attended the big banquet last year. Nana beams with joy and calls him Joe. Our hero instantly goes on high alert. He remembers his enemy dropping that exact name. Joe smoothly jokes about upsetting Setsu at this birthday bash. Nana happily introduces him to Shizuru. The moment Joe locks eyes with the young mistress, he is totally starry-eyed. Completely mesmerized, he kisses up to her. Then he casually turns to our hero, claiming he has heard great things. He asks for a name, playing completely clueless. Our boy smirks internally. How long is this clown going to act dumb? Rumor says Joe is a deadly cultivator, but when our guy scans his core, wait a hot second. This guy is totally empty. After a firm handshake, Joe gives a fake smile. He bows to Setsu, but something is wrong. Our hero narrows his eyes. There is absolutely zero aura coming from him. This dude is definitely no martial artist. Not even a single drop of killing intent. Is this guy a total fake? Fast forward to the fancy dinner banquet where all the snobs are eating together. Suddenly the host announces it is time for the ballroom dance. Couples hit the floor for a slow waltz. Meanwhile, our boy is hiding in the bathroom, stressing over fake Joe. Did he just get massively trolled? Why would that blonde punk lie to him? Back on the dance floor, some brave fool actually asks Shizuru for a dance. She shoots him down instantly. The crowd whispers about the untouchable Ice Queen. Nobody stands a chance with her. Even the filthy rich Katagiri heir got completely rejected. People wonder if any mortal man is worthy of her. But suddenly the entire room goes dead. Silent. Jaws hit the floor. Everyone is staring in pure absolute shock. The Ice Queen herself just asked Hiroto to dance. Meanwhile, fake Joe sneaks out of the party. He hops into a luxury limo, ordering his meathead guards to secure the area. The tinted windows roll up as they drive off. The guards whisper outside, totally spooked. Rumor is, whoever guards the boss ends up totally brainwashed. They go through bodyguards like cheap paper towels. The last guy vanished into thin air. Inside the car, fake Joe gets brutally slapped. A terrifying voice scolds him for flirting. The fake pathetically begs for mercy. The true boss flashes his gold rings, leaking absolute monstrous spiritual pressure. He spares the fake's miserable life for now. But if this useless pawn fails one more simple order, he will be turned into absolute dust. The big reveal. This terrifying man is the real Suma Joe, the true clan heir, not the pathetic body double from the party. The true Lord Joe steps out of the shadows, ordering his grunts to follow. The trembling guards realize the dark rumors are true. Only one person walked out of that limo. What the heck happened in the back seat? We see the imposter gagged and tied up like a pretzel. Back at the flashy party, the real Joe smoothly apologizes to Setsu for the delay. But then his eyes lock onto the dance floor. Wait a minute. Shizuru is waltzing with some random guy. His jaw drops in pure jealous disbelief. Who the heck is this lucky punk? The piano plays as the two share a ridiculously romantic gaze. Suddenly, our absolute Chad pulls her right against his chest. She blushes, whispering that he is surprisingly smooth. But then drops the business talk. If they want to sell that pill, gotta match the bougie party vibe. The original owner knew ballroom dancing, and thanks to stage 2 of cultivation, his balance is literally flawless. Nana asks if Setsu was blind to the kid's insane footwork, and she says that even with killer moves, he is still just a peasant. But Nana notices the girl watching his every single step. Jamor sees Yamore is a dance floor menace too. Suma tells Nana he just met Hurto, which completely shocked her. Even with the Ama clan's backing, Nana asks why he cannot dig up dirt on a rogue kid. Suma awkwardly admits they do not want to start drama in Naomi since it is Hoshisu turf. Nana completely ignores the rules and thinks the means do not matter. After all, Hiroto's god-tier alchemy skills are insane. She just wants to chain his golden potential to the clan's future. No way she is letting this moneymaker roam free anymore. Suma totally feels threatened by Nana and thinks if Setsu was not standing right there, he would have deleted her ages ago. He glares, plotting what to do with the garbage that is Hiroto Yamore. The rich gossips whisper about our guy, pestering the ex-wife who dramatically announces she is out. She walks up to Yamare, acting like a mind reader, claiming she knows his exact scheme. And like she is the last premium snack on earth, she flat out says seducing her is completely useless. Our baffled guy wonders what on earth this blue-haired girl is yapping about. Annoyed, she lectures that refining cheap pills will not make him rich, just buy basic instant noodles. Our hero casually sips his wine, ignoring her as she tells him to get a life and not focus on her. Hito verbally judo flips her, asking who gave her the mic for that pathetic speech. She says the spiritual chi she is leaking everywhere is not on purpose. It is because she is a rookie at controlling it. The girl is shocked and asks how he figured that out. He warns that forced cultivation speeds up absorption, but it is literally nuking her body. She asks how a basic mortal could diagnose her, and our guy says he can fix her self-destruct button. The girl refuses to believe his crazy diagnosis. Hito shrugs, telling her to believe whatever, and he honestly does not care if she refuses and loses her life. Frankly, her clock is ticking down fast, and he just wanted to help. She can treat it like a basic business deal, and he just needs one tiny favor. There is a little secret he needs to ask Joe. When he whispers his master plan in her ear, the jealous loser watches from the shadows, absolutely seething. The party finally wraps up, and couples scurry to their cars. Nana intercepts our duo right as they are making their grand exit. Obsessed with the Zhu Yuan pill, she asks them to spare a quick minute. Seeing her pull up in person, he instantly knows she wants way more than just the medicine. She says the main character and Suga are basically trauma twins. After her parents passed, her greedy uncle started dictating her whole life. Thank heavens, she awoke as a cultivator and finally snapped the toxic chains holding her hostage. Ding. Now our guy gets why the girl's body is basically self-destructing. She is literally burning up her own lifespan for a higher cultivation rank. Nana spills this tea because she tried absolutely everything to heal Setsu, but her critical condition is completely incurable. Just like Shizuru's poor mom, not a single remedy works on the madam. So she is begging our hero to perform a miracle. Aunt Nana is the big boss of the traditional medicine guild, yet she trusts Hiroto way more than overpriced doctors. Since he can whip up magic talismans on top of fancy pills, he realizes the legendary mystery cultivator they were hyping up was literally him. Our hero laughs, comparing it to the Rui continent, where cultivation was basically caveman science. On top of that, Nana is drooling over his pill inventory and wants to do serious business with him for the Hoshisu clan. With Auntie running the show, those pill profits would easily skyrocket tenfold. According to Suga, Auntie is making this royal request simply because Setsu is a sweet, fragile girl who completely deserves saving. When the marriage got annulled, she actually rebelled once. That juicy lore drop totally shocks our guy. Suma steps outside the fancy mansion and bumps right into Aunt Nana. After a fake polite goodbye bow, he spots Yamori and Shizuru with her. He gives our hero a totally fake thank you, offering his hand for a slimy handshake. Says he would love to cross paths again. Hiroto plays along, smirking that they will bump into each other soon. But the second he touches Suma Joe's hand, he feels something crazy. A massive wave of spiritual chi is blasting off the guy, totally different from before. After that, Joe slides into his obnoxious limo, and his goon hands him a parting gift from Madame Setsu. When he rips open Setsu's present, it is just a butterfly origami. Totally clueless about what it means, he just tosses it to the fake Suma to hold and threatens him not to peek without permission. He scoffs, thinking Hiroto is still the same useless trash. He slides his ring on and lightning shoots out of it. Like a total villain, he tells everyone close to our hero to wait because they are going to die by his hand. Meanwhile, the fake guard clutches the box with the origami butterfly, which starts glowing an eerie green. Plot twist our guy was listening to. Meanwhile, our resident plant nerd, Nana, is busy analyzing some magical weeds. But suddenly, an uninvited guest crashes her garden party. She spins around in a flash. A monk leaking spiritual energy like a broken pipe smirks and says she definitely lives up to her title. The genius of the 100 Herb sect. Despite being totally nerfed with destroyed cultivation and some nasty injuries, her spiritual radar is still working in full HD. Nana narrows her eyes, demanding to know who this random, shiny-headed cultivator is, because if he is just here to throw hands, her master plan is to expertly run away, but the monk just chuckles. He knows she leads the Hoshisu clan, and bets all his beads she will not flee. He flexes, quoting that tired old villain line. A lion goes all out, even when squashing a bunny. Even with her power levels dropping, these two are about to throw down for real. Nana, however, notices he is sweating just a little bit. She asks what his actual endgame is here. The monk demands she come quietly and skip the heroics. Then monk number 2 pops out of nowhere. His bright idea, just break her kneecaps. Nana casually strokes a glowing plant. That radiates some seriously sketchy energy. She smiles and promises to give them a VIP front row seat to her special show. The skinny monk suddenly panics, plugging his nose as a suspicious purple glitter fills the air. The chubby monk also gags and realizes they just got crop dusted with deadly poison. Luckily for Nana, casually munching on some green heart grass makes her completely immune. This spicy air buys her precious seconds to formulate a solid escape plan. Just as she is about to dip, a spooky shadow with glowing red eyes blitzes her. She is instantly captured. Enter a creepy guy in a suit, clearly repping the secret shadow cult. He smugly admits his dark affiliations, bragging right to her face about how he destroyed the 100 Herb sect back in the day. Nana scoffs. She claims their doomsday has not arrived yet, so why expose themselves now? But when? She gets a good look at his face. Her jaw hits the floor. It is Amajo rocking Yamamori's face. He dramatically declares he is ending the Hoshisu clan leader right here, right now. Scene change. The mansion guards are slacking off during shift change, violently debating their dinner menu, and guessing what their boss, Master Joe, might crave. Slipping past these amateur food critics, our guy busts out the shadow cloud steps. He completely sneaks into Amajo's room, holding a magical origami butterfly. He releases the little green bugger to scan for his targets. Specific vibe. Plot twist. The room is totally empty. Meanwhile, the counterfeit Joe is rotting in another room, loudly slurping instant ramen and binge-watching trashy TV. He is throwing a major tantrum over this budget lifestyle just because he happens to be a perfect visual clone of Sumu Joe. He recalls the original Joe's terrifying threats about keeping their little identity scam a secret, constantly reminding him that he is just a cheap knockoff who will never be a real boy. Fed up with being treated like garbage, he decides to totally rebel. He completely ignores the order not to open his mysterious box. He pops the lid and surprise. The green paper butterfly flutters out like a magical moth. The fake is super confused. But then, our main character spawns behind him like a ghost. He asks if the clone remembers him, finally realizing why this poor dude had zero spiritual energy. Stepping up, he calls him out as a fraud and demands the real Joe's location. Cut to a random alleyway where a bunch of mobster extras are waiting to get beaten up. Our hero strolls over, deep in thought about a spiritual vessel actually existing in this world. This totally screams that a massive big shot is secretly backing these families. Because forging one in a low-mana world, that should be straight up impossible. But if the Sumu family is hiding a secret stash of spiritual power, the plot totally thickens. Once he finishes his current chore, he plans to speedrun finding Ryuja's power source and farm some sweet, sweet levels. The thugs finally surround him, whining about his terrible punctuality. They brag about their fat paychecks to break his bones, planning to arrogantly play with their food first. But the second, our main character gives them the absolute death glare. These tough guys start shivering like tiny chihuahuas. Their boss panics and yells at them to attack. They blindly charge at Hiroto, weapons drawn and ready. The gang leader smugly thinks victory is absolutely guaranteed. After all, he brought his most elite thugs for this premium beatdown. But bam. In one single second, the entire elite squad gets spectacularly blasted away by a single shockwave, leaving their boss completely flabbergasted by this cheat-level strength. Our hero simply coats his fist in a glowing aura, sending another goon flying into next week. Screaming in a whole lot of pain, the boss's brain short-circuits, sweating and wondering if this monster is even human. Our hero casually dusts off his hands and politely asks who ordered honor. The hit on him. Meanwhile, back at Nana Hashisu's crib, the girl Setsu is playing angry detective at the trashed crime scene. One of her guards pulls up the security cam footage from 1 in the morning. It clearly shows the 2 bald intruders dropping in to ambush her. The video tragically cuts to black as they violently breach the roof. They confirm the worst. Nana was definitely snatched. They quickly tally 3 bad guys in total, and the camera caught a crystal-clear, high-definition shot of the 3rd guy's face. The guards recognize him from the recent party. They swear it is Yamamori, Hiroto. Setsu is absolutely triggered and cannot believe it. She snatches her car keys, downloads the incriminating clip to her phone, and peels out toward a specific address given by a mysterious snitch, pulling up to the target location she was told about. She stands right in front of the house, literally boiling with rage. She is totally ready to roast Yamamori for messing with her bloodline. Not letting this slide against a man with a broken arms crossed, Setsu marches in to settle the score with Hiroto. Boiling over her aunt's kidnapping, she barks at the goon to take her straight to the boss. Trembling, the poor lackey points a shaky finger toward the inner chambers. Stepping inside, she spots a squad of battered goons. Were these guys weakling non-player characters? Then she notices a bruised butler, awkwardly handing water to our main character. Sensing her terrifying aura, he turns as she completely explodes at him. She wildly accuses him, screaming to release her dear aunt. Do that and she might spare his life, but our totally clueless hero is blinking in confusion. What lackeys? What aunt? Her rage peaks. She jabs a fiery finger at him, branding him the mastermind behind Aunt Nana's abduction. Hiroto is completely clueless about the missing aunt, absolutely baffled by her wild logic. She snaps at him to drop the innocent act. Boom, she drops the ultimate receipt. He was caught red-handed on the security cameras. Hiroto connects the dots. Some sneaky imposter used a face-changing spiritual vessel to frame him. Completely unaware, Setsu flares her explosive aura. She threatens an absolute cultivator smackdown unless he returns her aunt this exact second. Our guy frantically denies everything, tossing his new minions under the bus as his alibi. When grilled, the lackeys swear they never left his side all night. Setsu scoffs, demanding to know how his ugly mug is on video if he was stuck here. Plot twist. Our hero whips out a counter video. It shows Sumo Joe looking miserable elsewhere, but wait. It is a total fake. In the clip, Yasuhiro confesses he is Joe's pathetic body double. Normally just a meat shield, he was forced to play the boss at that party. He spills the beans about using a magic ring to steal faces, hiding in the shadows like a coward. Setsu is dumbfounded by this trickery. Our main character calmly explains the tricky enemy holds a nasty spiritual vessel with extreme shape-shifting abilities. Her jaw hits the floor. A legendary vessel. Those are ridiculously rare heirlooms passed down by elite noble bloodlines. The math is mathing. Joe kidnapped Nana, using Hiroto's face to trigger her explosive rage. A flawless setup to pin the blame on our guy, eliminate competition, and claim Setsu furious. She decides to counterframe that scumbag, but our boy warns that her reckless revenge will get Aunt Nana killed. Annoyed, she glares at him. So what is the plan? Just sit quietly and do nothing. Smirking, our hero reveals his trap card. He will absolutely reverse Joe's scheme and make that villain dig his own grave. Cut to the bad guy's lair, where Lord Suma greedily sucks life force from victims. Yawning, he complains these commoners are boring to drain, even as his dark aura surges. A hilarious fat monk warns that flimsy humans cannot handle the insane backlash of his demonic training. But wait, draining the 100 herb sect members will unlock the ultimate cheat code to master shadows. Hitting cultivation level 1 is the golden ticket. It guarantees a spot beside the Amma family elder. Once in power, he promises to vouch for the chubby monk to the Zen sect grandmaster. The monk drools over the honor. Suddenly, his twig-like buddy, the skinny monk, pops up. He eagerly reports Kosaka captured Yayamori last night, asking for execution orders. Suma waves a lazy hand, ordering him tossed into Kogen Temple's dungeons. He demands the guy stays alive for now. Why? After ripping out his own tongue, Yuki will deal the bloody final blow. Over at Spooky Kogen Temple, a nervous boss violently shushes his loudmouth goons. They are on strict guard duty to babysit magical artifacts. A grumpy guard whines, sick of cowering behind the cops like absolute wimps. Speak of the devil, Boss Joe swaggers in. Instantly, the crew sweats bullets, faking polite bows like they never trash-talked him. Panic-stricken, they offer a very important person tour, assuming he wants an inspection. Joe ignores the bootlicking barking and insane order at Hargaya, make every guard toss their phones in the trash before leaving the temple. Hargaya's brain short-circuits, not because of the crazy phone ban, but because almighty Lord Joe actually remembered his name. That literally never happens. Outside lackeys roll up in a shady van barking orders to deliver Yayamori to Suma. But a masked creep steps in, warning him not to try any hero nonsense. Hiroto crashes the temple party. The white-haired villain smirks like a psycho, thrilled for round 2. Our main character glares, demanding to know his twisted game. The villain dramatically chuckles, acting completely heartbroken that their fake party friendship is completely shattered. Sneering in disgust, he trashes Yamori as a pathetic insect. His huge crime, daring to talk to Yuki in front of him. He snarls that joining Hashimoto was his doom. Whining he should have swatted Hiroto himself like a fly. Turns out Hashimoto was just a pawn working for him. Battered Yayamori begs to know why he is causing a bloodbath over one guy. Suma's ridiculously petty villain origin story is exposed. Hiroto is Yuki's ex-fiancé. Jealousy is destroying his brain. In his twisted mind, Yuki is a flawless goddess, born for him and no one else's. Our hero's jaw drops. Hunted over a crazy ex-boyfriend complex, Joe snorts, claiming killing him instantly would be a tragic waste of fun. He mocks our guy, stating a mere bug could never comprehend his godly ascension. Suddenly, ominous spiritual energy explodes. Sensing the terrifying aura around him, our hero realizes this psycho is charging an ultimate skill. Nana's stolen life force is a massive battery of pure power. Even if she was useless in a real fight, the evil hack is simple slurp. Her magical shadow evolve into a cultivator and basically ascend to godhood. Unfazed by the dramatic monologue, our hero tilts his head and asks, wouldn't it be way smarter to just crush him now? Right now, Joe actually thinks Yuki wants our boy dead. This absolute clown purposely leaked the recording of Aunt Nana's kidnapping. Yep, basically admitting he was the mastermind. And while he's busy reshaping his face to look exactly like Hiroto, our hero instantly catches his cheap identity theft and calls him out. Suma is utterly clueless, until the masked guard dramatically rips off her disguise. Plot twist. It's Yuki. She heard every single word of his villain monologue. Now she knows the truth about her aunt, leaving this fool completely paralyzed. The blue-haired beauty was definitely not in his script. Sweating bullets, he suddenly backpedals, claiming her aunt is perfectly fine, and his evil confession was just a goofy prank. Yeah, right. Yuki isn't buying that garbage. She demands her aunt back instantly. Her spiritual aura violently erupts. If they don't comply, he and the Ama family are getting wiped out today. Panicking, he cries that Yamamori tricked him, but our main character just smirks. The idiot confessed entirely on his own, proving he's a smooth brain. Joe stands there looking like a stunned mullet. Yuki already contacted the Hoshikawa family, telling him to back off, since this is above a normal person's pay grade. Suma snaps back that he's a cultivator too, frantically ordering his monks to attack, desperately trying to look tough. But the badass girl steps right in front of Hiroto, declaring she will never let them touch him. She acts as his human shield. The twin monks start charging mana, and Suma tells Yuki to listen up close. If she dares to interfere with this fight, he's going to make one quick phone call and end her aunt permanently. Classic hostage leverage. He viciously forces her to choose Yamamori's life or her aunt's, but Hiroto just chuckles, telling Setsu to chill out. Spoiler alert, Aunt Nana was already rescued and is totally safe. Suma is flabbergasted. How did this guy bypass top-tier security? That's literally impossible. Watching the security footage of her casual stroll to freedom, his brain short-circuits. 15 minutes earlier at the Kogan Temple on the mountain trail, we see exactly how he pulled this off. While all the meathead guards surrounded Nana Joe's strict orders were to not even blink until he called. Peeking around to make sure the coast was clear, he checked his phone. A text from his double-crossing guard leaked the entire operation to Yamamori Hiroto, and Yuki wonder if our main character literally has a script of the future. Because he rescued the aunt with cheat code speed. Is this really the same Yamamori they used to know? Suma and Joe order the bald stooges to crush Hiroto. They blitz the boy like rabid dogs. Yuki bravely charges back, but the monks trigger a dirty spell. Creepy pink mana limbs ensnare her arms and legs, pinning her down. While she's hopelessly immobilized, Joe cackles, telling her to grab popcorn for Yamamori's pathetic execution. The girl panics as monks swarm the boy. Joe gloats she cannot protect a single soul. She drowns in guilt, kicking herself for underestimating this Joe clown. But suddenly our main character casually sidesteps the monk's ultimate combo attack. He plants a boot right into one guy's face and brutally dunk slams the other into the concrete. Boom. Yuki witnesses Hiroto Yamamori's ridiculous true power, and her jaw literally drops. The thrown monk somehow breakdances his way up instantly, wasting the precious substitution talisman he was holding. What a rookie move. Teleporting like a demon, the protagonist appears right behind him, winding up a meteor-level punch. Watching this god-tier speed, Suma realizes no normal human moves like a glitch in the Matrix. It clicks. Yamamori is a cultivator. His terrifying aura explodes out like a roaring hurricane. Yuki is now absolutely certain he's awakened. Honestly, our main character has been dying to meet this idiot for a while. After all the pathetic ambushes and that hilarious murder plot involving Hashimoto Akimasa, yeah, he's got a major bone to pick. Not to mention kidnapping his friends and daring to attack his cute pet. Someone once said that having this villain buzzing around like a mosquito was a major pain. That is exactly why our hero is ready to swat this bug. Since our hero is secretly a beastly cultivator, Suma panics and pulls out his forbidden trump card. The recoil is going to be nasty. Suddenly, a colossal monstrosity forged from dark spiritual energy manifests around him. Those two useless bald monks immediately get swallowed whole by the weird purple slime. Our main character recognizes this trashy transmission technique. It makes humans in this world resort to parasitic shortcuts just like what Joe is pulling. Those fodder monks were just battery packs for his power fantasy. He is literally absorbing other cultivators just to juice up his edgy shadow technique. Sucking dry one guy was a massive buff, but eating two, that elevates him to a whole new level of crazy. After draining the monks into shriveled raisins on the floor, his power level skyrockets into the next cultivator stage. Even our hero raises an eyebrow at this guy cheating his way to the top. The giant monster snaps open, a massive eye, swelling in size and radiating pure toxic energy. Suma delightfully announces that Yamamori is next to be digested into his power core. Setsu severely miscalculated Lord Joe's villainy. She never imagined this clown was hiding such a broken, overwhelming form. Guilt crushes her. She blames herself for dragging our hero here to suffer. She screams at Suma to leave Yamori out of this. But the villain is already throwing a massive tantrum. Annoyed he is furious, she dared to protect this so-called trash. Cue the dramatic villain power-up. He unleashes a tidal wave of spiritual energy, and the monster behind him inflates like a furious balloon. Glowing with pure rage, he charges at our hero, ready to send him straight to the afterlife. Talk about anger issues. He swings a massive glowing energy claw, while the girl screams for our boy to run for his life. But just when it looks like the claw is going to hit our hero, plot twist. He dodges it effortlessly, sliding right next to Setsu. He flexes his own spiritual energy, popping up an instant pink shield for both of them. Seeing that flashy chi, the enemy completely loses his mind over missing his strike. Our hero casually clicks into stage 1 cultivation. A majestic blue aura explodes around him, instantly drowning out the bad guy's tantrum. He deadpans that. The attack was seriously underwhelming. Setsu is absolutely speechless. He is way stronger than Lord Ima, and the sheer pressure of his aura makes it hard to breathe. Our main character blasts forward like a missile, planting a supercharged kick square into the villain's chest. Wounded and completely embarrassed, the bad guy commands his giant chi monster to counterattack him. The massive spiritual beast charges at Hiroto with absolutely everything. It is huge, it is terrifying, and it is looking for blood. The villain screams at the top of his lungs, hoping to literally erase our hero. A massive blast of pink energy comes crashing down, but our guy just yawns and tosses up another chi shield. Joe sees him defending and immediately starts trash-talking, calling him a massive failure who is about to be eaten by his shadow technique. But our hero just casually holds his arms out to block the insane attack. Brushing off the dust, he dashes forward with a loaded fist, reminding this clown that fancy tricks mean absolutely nothing against raw, unfiltered power. Our protagonist slams the earth with a devastating energy punch, and the ground shatters completely. He smirks at Lord Suma, and literally pulls a one-eyed pink energy parasite straight out of the dirt. He totally exposed the shadow technique. It relies on energy-sucking bugs, and guess what? He just caught the main one. Squish. He crushes it like a grape, instantly stripping the villain of his edgy shadow powers. The villain hits the ground, groaning in agony. His mind is totally blown. How did a nobody just wreck a noble? He starts screaming at him, pulling the classic, "Do you know who my family is?" card. He brags about his grandpa and warns that if Hiroto actually finishes him, the hidden shadow sect will hunt him down forever. Our main character just raises an eyebrow. Oh, cool, so assassin sects exist in this world too. Good to know. Sweating bullets, the villain screeches, demanding to know if Yamori understands what the absolute danger he is in, calling him a worthless pig. Hiroto just walks toward him in terrifying, dead silence while he keeps screaming about bringing a disaster upon himself. Pinned to the floor, his tough guy act crumbles, getting more and more panicked. "Why are you getting closer?" he squeaks. He tries threatening with his clan's assassins again and then immediately switches to intense begging. He promises to guarantee our hero's safety if he just lets him live, and he even throws in a pathetic apology for his crimes. While he is busy crying for mercy, Our hero coldly whispers, "Game over." He throws a ridiculously brutal punch, burying the guy into the earth and sending a massive shockwave that reaches all the way to Setsu. With eyes colder than ice, he officially knocks Sumajo completely out cold. Dusting off his hands, our hero says it is a wrap, and casually mentions Nana is already back safe. Setsu is still buffering. She literally thought he was just some random weak guy, not a secret martial arts god. She realizes she was the clueless one this entire time, not knowing a single thing. Our boy shrugs and says he was fully prepared to solo the villain anyway. He then loots a fancy spiritual vessel which looks like a cheap knockoff, but clearly reeks of stage 4 cultivator energy. Still in shock, the woman asks the million-dollar question. If you are this overpowered, why did your clan kick you out? You could have been the boss. Our hero coldly replies that family is dead to him. Plus, he claims he is actually pretty weak since he hasn't even hit the 3rd stage yet. Talk about a humble brag. The girl desperately needs to reach that stage to escape her own awful family and become a totally free, certified badass. True to his word, our main character is ready to fix her exploding body problem, which is ticking like a time bomb. He casually pulls out a dispersal pill, explaining it will vent all that chaotic, deadly energy that is slowly destroying her. But hearing the words "release energy" makes her panic. Wait, is she going to lose all her hard-earned magic abilities? She explains her current method is absolute garbage. It stalls her progress and is literally going to tick away her lifespan. But becoming a normal, powerless human again sounds terrifying. Our hero just smirks and hits her with a solid nope. That is part of the premium package. He asks, "Want to see what real cultivation looks like?" Cut to a little later, the girl shyly knocks on his door. She is packed up and ready to be his new unofficial roommate for a bit. Seeing her face glowing like a bright red tomato, he acts completely clueless. She dodges the question and scurries right inside. "So, hitting the road again?" she asks. Our guy shrugs, standing proudly next to his glowing weed collection. "Maybe. Once these Ama family clowns are dealt with, I am off to Ryuja to find a legendary hot spring. The aura leaking from the silver heart grass is surprisingly soothing, the ultimate cheat code for fixing Setsu's fragile human stats." Suddenly, a fluffy puppy waddles up. "I will teach you real cultivation," he declares, "but first babysit this furball." She melts instantly, hugging the dog. "Oh my gosh, what is his name?" "Dog," he deadpans. She gasps in horror. Names are sacred, give him an identity so he belongs. Our hero sighs and dubs the mutt Roku. The pup barks, absolutely thrilled with the choice. Why Roku? It is an homage to our hero's terrifying past-life martial arts master. Post-bath, she claims the spotless guest room, wrapping herself in a towel. What about the Ama family's hitmen, she worries. "Oh, they are handled," he smirks. But on the Ama family mountain, Joe is currently sweating bullets in front of his scary relatives. The VIPs gather, waiting for the family's ancient fossil to wake up. Joe practically pees himself as the heavy doors rumble. Crash! A massive beast steps out carrying an old relic of a man. 5 years, feels like a quick nap. The geezer brags. This is Amotakuzo Joe's terrifying great-grandfather, riding a golden-eyed black lion like a total boss. "Congrats on hitting the 3rd stage, you absolute legend," the peanut gallery cheers, praying for his eternal life. The old monster chuckles, soaking up the praise. Then his eyes lock onto Joe. "Come here, boy," he growls. "What happened to that trash outcast, Yamori?" Joe stammers. He is completely useless. He got absolutely wrecked by Herodoto. The elder's aura explodes. The entire room shakes with his blazing fury. Pathetic. An Ama clan member making excuses. "I should toss you in the trash where you belong." He barks orders at Okajuko and Tiro Shikaga. "Go to Noe City and fix this humiliating mess." Meanwhile, our tragic heroine Setsu is brutally dragged out of bed at 5 in the morning. "I do not even wake up this early for a luxury spa day," she whines, half asleep. "Stop complaining," our hero scolds. 5 in the morning chi is top-tier stuff. Double experience points. He shoves a weird liquid in her face. She chugs it without thinking and instantly starts glowing green like a radioactive glow stick. "What the heck did I just drink?" "Relax, it is just a watered-down gathering pill," he shrugs. "The real thing would literally make you explode. It is basically a gentle mix of turmeric, parsley, and some magical leftovers. Back in my old life, literal infants drank this stuff from their baby bottles." He sighs at how ridiculously squishy earthlings are. "Change your clothes. Time for real training." He drags her to a public park to meditate on literal rocks. She is dying of embarrassment, but he insists that hugging nature is the ultimate life hack for absorbing spiritual chi. The local grandpas stare, assuming this is some weird new couples yoga trend. They whisper about how cute the young lovers look on their spiritual date. Seeing her squirm like a caterpillar, our hero snaps. "Stop wiggling and actually feel the energy." Her old training was pure garbage, literally hoarding toxic, violent energy inside her fragile veins. Normal humans cannot even see this toxic sludge, let alone protect themselves from it. But now, it is time for a deep spiritual detox. Real cultivation is all about that pure, filtered goodness. Your old efficiency was a pathetic 40%, he boasts. With my system, 100% pure power. Focus your spiritual radar right in the middle of your forehead. We call it the platform. Now empty that noisy brain of yours. She squeezes her eyes shut, desperately trying to find this mythical brain platform. But instead of zen-like emptiness, her mind is an absolute chaotic mess, completely haunted by the terrifying ghosts of her past traumas. The grandparents are stressing out. They think the poor girl is sick from all that sweating. But she is just straining, trying to spot her spiritual energy. Our hero smoothly taps her forehead. Giving her a little boost, he whispers to close her eyes and focus. Riding on his overpowered aura, she searches deep within for her dormant chi. While she is sweating bullets absorbing his energy, the old folks are just watching like, young love. Boom, breakthrough. She finally sees the golden rivers of energy flowing inside her. It is absolutely breathtaking witnessing raw spiritual chi firsthand. Our main character smirks. That is the true form of spirits hidden from normal eyes. He snaps his fingers, cutting the connection. All right, class dismissed for day 1, he says. Now you just need to master the flow of your chi. Then you will officially hit the first stage of cultivation. Later that night, soaking in a hot bath, Seitu keeps replaying that forehead touch. Why is my heart racing, she groans. I need to focus on immortal cultivation, not his stupidly handsome face. She violently splashes water, fighting her own hormones. 1 week later, our guy arrives at some sketchy coordinates from Snakehead. Is this really the spot? Meanwhile, Ning has leveled up. She can sense chi, and those energy pills will push her to stage 1. With her shiny new martial stats, she can defend the turf just fine. So our hero casually leaves for his road trip, spotting the sketchy ride Snakehead hooked him up with. The bus driver squints at him. Kid, you look like a freshman heading straight into a war zone. Bus is empty though, the driver shrugs. Pick a seat and enjoy your doom. Our overpowered hero boards in absolute silence. But hold up, there are some very shady passengers aboard. Meanwhile, the big bad bosses are finally making moves. They just touched down in Ningai City, strutting off the plane like they own the place. The local goons swarm the airport, bragging they found our hero's address. Time to teach this brat a lesson. Pulling up to the target's house, an ancient thug cracks his knuckles. I have not spilled blood in 30 years, let's party. But plot twist. Our hero left behind a cheat item to protect his girl. A legendary jade talisman bracelet. If those boomers try anything, she just needs to activate it. Cut to President Sue. Her secretary is waving a hand in front of her face, super annoyed. Why? Because the boss lady is completely zoning out, drooling over that very same bracelet. The secretary totally knows it is a gift from her massive crush. Caught red-handed, President Sue panics. She immediately glares at Fong and assigns her to a miserable business trip in the middle of nowhere. Boss, I am sorry, have mercy, Fong begs. But the boss is ruthless. Back on the death bus, our guy has been riding for 6 brutal hours through absolute nowhere. It looks like the passengers are packing snacks for a long haul to Lucci. Suddenly, screech, the brakes slam hard. Everyone flies out of their seats in pure panic. Stay calm. You are all completely safe, the driver yells. Spoiler alert, they were not. Smash crash. A literal gang of bandits shatters the windows and swarms the aisle, armed to the teeth with blades. Hey, the flower gang runs this turf, a brave idiot shouts. Well, that was a massive mistake. The bandit boss mercilessly shanks the loudmouth, dropping him instantly. The whole bus freezes in utter terror. The killer wipes his blade. Listen up, someone on this ride needs to die today. Point him out, and maybe the rest of you live. He kicks the fresh corpse. Do not cooperate, and you will end up exactly like this guy. Our main character sighs. Great. They are totally here for me, are they not? Talk about zero chill on a road trip. A thug stomps over to him. Hey punk, on your feet, let me see that ugly mug. The goon eyes his bag greedily. What are you hiding in there? Another bandit sneers. Stop chatting. If he acts deaf, just chop his head off. Taking the boss's violently bad advice, the thug yanks out a massive machete, ready to slice the quiet passenger in half. But wait, the guy completely vanishes. Whoosh. A phantom wind sweeps through the bus. The thugs blink. Huh. Did he just teleport? Surprise attack. Our hero materializes right behind them and unleashes a devastating right hook. Bam. The first idiot flies straight out the shattered window. Man, you guys are impatient, our hero mutters, still mad about your buddy's dislocated arm. They threw everything at this ambush. Too bad it is useless. Crack, our protagonist caves another goon's face in. Blood goes flying everywhere as the bandit collapses. Before the body even hits the floor, He is winding up an absolutely massive punch for the next poor fool. In 5 seconds flat, he clears the entire aisle. The so-called deadly assassins are now twitching in a pile of pain. Well, that was easy, he yawns. A mysterious masked girl in the back just stares completely mind-blown. Our guy casually drags the trash off the bus, hog-ties them, and checks the engine. But there is a huge problem. The front axle is totally snapped. 0 bars on the phone. If giant spirit beasts roll up right now, everyone is literal lunch. The drivers are practically crying, terrified of the dark woods. But little do they know, our hero has a backup plan. Roughing it out there, but tracking down Lucci takes ages and a shady snitch. Suddenly, the cloaked mystery girl begs for an escort to Lucci. Her grand offer, he gets to bodyguard her to Gaben Hyoto, is totally unbothered. She smirks, daring him to rethink, since she is literally his only GPS to Lucy. Our guy knows those goons chased her for whatever is inside that sketchy briefcase. He casually asks why a walking target thinks she can bargain with a total boss. She feels the burn but tells him to hold his horses. With major flair, she reveals herself as Wendong of Louis. She smugly declares he is not after boring cash but craving that sweet, juicy spiritual chi. Then boom, she whips a glowing sample right out of her briefcase, and that is a wrap. To catch the next crazy update, smash that notification bell